Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I wanted to talk all about Sézane Winter 2025. They just released the lookbook and actually the collection for their first winter drop. And I thought we would go through it because there's some interesting pieces in there. It's a little bit of a different vibe to previous years, I feel. So I thought it would be a fun one to scroll through the lookbook with you, chat through what I think of the pieces. You can let me know if you're going to purchase any of these items, and I can let you know what I've ordered because I did place just a little winter order yesterday when the collection dropped. Before we get into talking about Sézane, I want to mention the sponsor of today's video, and that is Gingiberi. If you haven't heard of Gingiberi before, they make some of the finest high quality pearl jewelry in gold vermeil, solid gold and sterling silver, and they are my go-to when it comes to classic pearls. I'm wearing some of their best-selling pieces today and I will talk you through them. I have a couple of necklaces, some earrings and this gorgeous new addition, this beautiful pearl bracelet. I've been very into my bracelets, as you might know if you've watched some of my recent videos, and a pearl one was definitely missing from my collection, so I'm loving this new addition in particular. Before I talk you through the pieces I'm wearing, I did just want to highlight the customer experience at Gingiberi, because in this day and age it's really hard to find not only a premium product but also a premium and luxurious customer experience, and that is one area that Gingiberi really excel in. They also offer free worldwide shipping on all orders. There is no minimum spend to that, and hassle-free returns as well, and they cover the cost of the return shipping. As I mentioned, I'm wearing some of their best-selling pieces at the moment. Two necklaces, you can see I've got them stacked. I actually love pearls for stacking, whether it's bracelets or necklaces, because I find when you're stacking jewelry you want different textures and different sizes. So pearls are really good for stacking with a plain gold chain, for example, because they add a different texture and a different dimension. So this classic pearl necklace, I feel like if you're into jewelry, everyone needs just like a very timeless, understated pearl necklace. And this is the SILINE necklace by Gingiberi, ticks that box perfectly. The second necklace I have layered is a gold vermeil and Akoya pearl necklace, and this pearl is also AAA graded. Akoya pearls, I actually never knew there were different kinds of pearls, but I'm learning something new every day. Akoya pearls are known for their luster, the flawless finish, and a slightly, ever so slightly pinky tone. A pearl earring is another piece that I think is a foundational piece if you're looking to build, start, or expand on your current jewelry collection. I love a pearl earring, and these ones in particular are some of my favorite. They are really comfortable to wear. They're kind of subtle, but they still, because they are a drop pearl, they still give a little bit of drama and elegance. These are also Aurora pearls, AAA graded in the gold vermeil, and I love these. These might be my favorite, actually. Second to the bracelet. I love the bracelet. Speaking of the bracelet, I will show you a close-up because it's absolutely gorgeous. I really want you to appreciate how beautiful this is. It's slightly chunkier than some of the other pearls I'm wearing, so it really just adds a little bit of dimension to a bracelet stack, or also looks perfect worn on its own as well. And these are also Aurora pearls, AA graded, and they have the sterling silver. You can see the clasp itself is sterling silver, and it has this beautiful little heart charm which you can actually use to adjust the bracelet. I realized when I put this on, you can just slip this onto your wrist and then you can tighten it using this little heart charm, which tightens or extends the chain. So it is suitable for different wrist sizes as well. Do check out the Gingiberi website because they have so many other beautiful styles. These are some of their best sellers, but they have some gorgeous other pieces, and I'm sure you'll be able to find something that really suits you or someone you're thinking of gifting this holiday season. If you would like to make a purchase, definitely utilize my discount code. That will get you 15% off your order. It is valid for all time, so it doesn't expire, but I will leave it down below on the screen as well as in the description box with the links to all of the pieces I've shown today. I should mention that that's my permanent discount code. You can use that anytime, but there is a Black Friday offer going on at the moment, and both discounts are stackable, so you can get a really good deal at the moment if you place an order soon. I will leave the details of the Black Friday offer on screen and in the description box as well, but do remember that you can also stack that with my permanent discount code. Okay, let's start at the top of the lookbook. So this obviously dropped yesterday. But a lot of it is still in stock. There have been some things that have sold out, I noticed, but most of it is still available. And then some pieces are obviously coming soon, which really annoys me. I wish they would just drop everything at once. They like to filter and tease us with different things at different times. So first off, we have this interesting outfit, definitely a statement look, with this Matteo sweater paired with what looks like to be, I think from a later picture in the lookbook, they're almost these like sort of form-fitting then flared silky trousers, but they could look like leggings in this picture particularly. basically. It's definitely a different look to how they normally go for. I feel like in the holiday season, they normally go for quite pretty feminine pieces, ruffles, polka dots, that kind of thing. Whereas this is much more editorial and just a different, like a sleeker, more minimal but statement vibe, especially with this belt. This is a huge gold statement belt around the waist paired with this sweater. This is coming soon, but this is £230. I think that is the most expensive belt I've ever seen from Sézane. Let me know if I'm incorrect, but I really don't think they've ever made a belt that's even over £100, maybe 150. Definitely an investment piece, but is it something that you would wear? I can't see myself wearing this personally, it's just too bold, but it could be if you are a fashionista, if you are really into your style and you want something like an accessory that is going to elevate outfits to be worn during the party season, during the Christmas or the holiday season. I guess a belt is quite a good way to do that because you can wear it with different things rather than just buying a dress or a top that is a statement piece that you can't really re-wear as easily. The jumper itself has these interesting tulle details, I think it's tulle, on the wrists that kind of flare out a little bit. And I like that detail, especially if you layered this under a blazer. I can imagine this layered under like a corduroy or a velvet blazer. If you were wearing a suit or even just like a jacket, and you have that little bit of tulle poking out of the wrist, which adds dimension and depth and layers to your outfit. I think that's interesting. I don't love the high neck. That's just a personal preference. I'm never a big fan of a really high neck, especially this one that's coming right up to her chin with these ruffles. Too much for me personally. I wish they'd just done it as like a crew neck with the wrist details. Moving down, we have these low Noella babies. I really don't like these. I'm not sure what it is. I think it's the combination of them being, I think they're a flat shoe, or do they have a heel to them? Let me have a look. I can't tell if it's like a really small, okay, so it's like a small block heel, but they are basically flat shoes. I think the flat with the T-bar and the very pointed toe, I just don't love the style personally. They look like they would be really uncomfortable as well. You know, sometimes when you can just look at shoes and they just look like they would give you blisters. These look like those kind of shoes to me, so I would definitely be skipping on these. And then we have that outfit we saw in the first picture in a full length version, so we can see actually what these trousers look like. Now, I'm pretty sure that on Instagram I saw that these trousers are a personal piece, so they're not part of the collection. I feel like they would actually be quite popular if they did make them, because they're kind of like interesting. They're like silky but flared, but quite, you know, easy to wear. The whole outfit, they've got the shoes paired with the Matteo sweater and the belt. It's definitely different. It's definitely something I haven't quite seen from Sézane before. Also, I have to mention that these pictures, this whole shoot that they've done for this lookbook, is very heavily filtered by the looks of it. It's almost difficult to see in some pictures the true colours of the items. So I do feel like people are gonna find that the colours might be quite misrepresented within this lookbook. Obviously, it's not much of an issue for the black pieces, but if we go down, there's some pink items that it's really hard to tell whether they're warm or cool or really what shade of pink they are, because there's a heavy filter on all of these images. We also have, so you can see on the right hand side, we have a better view of this pretty wrist detail. I really like this. I think it's a subtle detail, very wearable, but still really elevates a simple sweater. And then this big statement ring as well. This is the item I was talking about, this Axel sweater with this brown leather skirt. Difficult to tell what the actual shade of pink this is. They describe it as rosewood, but I know from past experience that their rosewood is quite different in colour to this. This looks very peachy and very warm, whereas rosewood is normally more on the pinky cooler side. So it'd be interesting to see, is it actually this peachy colour or is that just the filters? This is one of those high neck tie vests in like a alpaca blend. Personally, I don't love the tie vests. They just feel a little bit like a costume to me. They look a bit medieval in some respects, so I don't love them, but I know they're very popular. I know a lot of people, I think in my last lookbook video, said they really loved. There was a tie vest in that lookbook as well, and they said they really loved it, and I saw a few people order it. So I definitely think this could be popular, but not really to my own personal taste. Next up, we have a little bit of velvet. Sézane do love to do a bit of velvet in the winter time. I'm just going to check, is this, yeah, it's cotton velvet, which is something I always look for. If you didn't know, velvet can be made either of cotton or it can be made of polyester, and I always look at this price point for it to be made of cotton, because I think if you're charging £175 for a velvet jacket, it should be a cotton velvet, and this is, which is nice to see. These buttons down it, it's interesting, it's nice. This is a jacket style they do in leather, and then obviously this is the velvet version. I think this is quite nice if you just want to buy one piece for the holiday season. You don't want to go too all out and you want something that you can rewear and style in different ways. A velvet jacket, a jacket that can be worn indoors as well. This is a jacket, but you could definitely wear this indoors as part of your outfit, similar to a blazer. You could wear this with just like a tee and jeans, and the velvet instantly makes it feel a little bit richer, more luxurious, and more party appropriate. Moving down, we have this new outfit. This is it's a chunky Celine necklace, hillish shirt, and then the shoes. I think the trousers, I don't know if those are trousers that they already stock, or if they're a personal piece, or if they're a piece that hasn't been released yet, not sure. The top I really don't like, actually. I think, again, just personal preference. I'm just not a fan of this thick horizontal stripe with the sheer kind of almost like mesh material, and then the opaque stripes. It just, I don't know, I don't love it. I don't think it's very chic. I don't know. It's got these big ribbon ties as well, which she's obviously left undone, but I presume you could tie into a bow. It's got these voluminous raglan sleeves. It's just not my personal preference, but I don't know, it's a nice way to do holiday in a more understated way, I guess. It does feel quite understated, but again, a little bit different to what we've seen from Sézane before. This feels very Sézane, very similar to what we see from them all the time. It's almost like a cotton version of what I'm wearing now in jumper form. The Sania shirt. Not very holiday, not very winter. To me, this seems more spring summer with the light cotton fabric, but it is pretty. The necklace is a statement piece. They are really getting into their statement jewellery. I feel like it's one area that they've expanded in their collection a lot over the past year. This is a huge kind of statement gold but long necklace. Long necklaces definitely seem to be coming back, which is something that feels funny to me because these were in fashion 15 years ago when I was a teenager, and now they're coming back in style. This one to me just reads as a little bit too long. I think because it's so heavy on the bottom, kind of drags your eye down, whereas I like necklaces to highlight kind of this area. I think that's more flattering generally, so I prefer a shorter necklace, but I think they look cool. I just probably wouldn't go for Sézane. I feel like this is something that you want to get vintage on Etsy, because you can get proper, you know, gold vermeil or solid gold, as opposed to just this gold-plated brass. Moving down, we have the Tobias jumper in this lovely white or slightly off-white colour. I have to say the Tobias jumper is one that I look at every single year. They have brought this out probably for the last 5 years in different colours, and I always am tempted by it. I love the zip with this pretty jewel. It's like a gemstone, almost like a, I don't know what you call it, a stone detail on the zip. It's a subtle detail, but I think it really elevates. I actually really don't like zips on clothing. I feel like they always make something look cheaper. Even if it's a really expensive piece of clothing, I find a zip can detract from it, whereas this is the one exception. I feel like the zip actually enhances the piece because of that small detail. They've just gone to a little bit of extra effort to make it feel more premium, and I think it really works. And the Tobias jumper, I think, for that reason, along with it just being like a classic cut, is popular every single year, and I love this neutral version. And they've done it in like sea greens before, pretty like mottled browns, but this cream one is actually really gorgeous and looks lovely with the wide leg dark blue jeans. I really like that outfit. Scrolling down, we have the Matteo sweater again, a bit in burgundy this time, so you can see the details on this a little bit clearer than the black one. Again, you have those wrist details with the flared wrist and then this very high ruffle collar. It does look really gorgeous paired with this masher skirt. This is a skirt that they bring out every year around this time in different colours, different variations. It's always incredibly popular, and again, this one has sold out instantly, I noticed. It's like a cult favourite, I think, from old school Sézane lovers who have been around for a long time. Love the masher skirt, and it always sells out every year. And I have to say, this burgundy version is beautiful. It's got like a lovely tulle again with the polka dots. I can't quite figure out if the gold detail on the waist is part of the skirt or if that's a belt they've added on. I think it's not, because if you look at the other colours of the masher skirt, they don't have that. They're just a plain waistband. So I think this must be a belt, but I don't feel like from the pictures or the description it's very clear either way. So I'm worried a few people might have ordered this thinking it comes with that, and then actually it's a separate belt. I'm not sure, we'll have to see. But either way, I do really like this full burgundy look. I think it's really cool. And if you don't like a bright red, which is so often synonymous with the holiday season, I think a burgundy is a more subtle take on that, but still looks equally beautiful and festive. We also have these Agatha low ballerinas. These seem to be in like a satin material. They are polyester. They do look very delicate as well. I mean, they're a lovely indoor shoe if you can afford to spend £150 on a shoe you only wear indoors. Like, they do have a lovely sheen to them, but I do think that they would be very not durable at all and actually get ruined fairly easily. So I would probably skip over those. We have another burgundy piece. This is the Albi cardigan. I really like this one. Not particularly festive or holiday-esque, but I really like this as just a classic piece. This is one of their viscose polyester blends. They do this very often in this form-fitting kind of tight, stretchy fabric. I always find that it's best to size up in these pieces because they run a little bit small. Obviously they stretch, but you don't want a piece like this to be too tight, otherwise it feels really uncomfortable. So I tend to size up in these. This is almost all sold out as well, actually. I can't remember if I ordered this or not. I'll have to check my order. I ordered a few things to try, and I think this was one of them. But yeah, I'm interested in this. I love the neckline. I think it's a beautiful, really feminine, pretty, almost sweetheart neckline with the buttons down the middle. Have to see if the buttons gape at all, because obviously, depending on your bust size and your body in general, they might gape a bit, which might not look quite right. But I really like the ribbing, the subtle details, and it's a nice piece. It's a classic piece. And that's paired with the leather skirt again. Moving down, we have some pinks, some, again, what looks like quite peachy pinks in the Tomo blouse. This is nice, it's pretty. I like it. I think I didn't order this one, but it's nice. It's kind of my kind of vibe if I was gonna buy something, but I already have quite a few of these frilly blouses, so I skipped on it this time. This is the Gino cardigan. I think this one will be quite popular. It's got the beautiful embroidery on the sleeves, and then it's got this lovely, it's like a pink, a light pink, blush pink with the darker pink on the sleeves. It is really gorgeous, I have to say. And I like the embroidery. I feel like sometimes when you have pieces like this in holiday or winter collections, they can often be embellished with sequins or gems or jewels, which I just find don't last. They come off or they break in the wash, or even when you're hand washing things, they can make the garment heavy and they can get caught in the fibers of the knit. And although they look very pretty initially, they don't last a long time. They're not very durable. Whereas something like embroidery gives that same effect, but it doesn't really have that same annoyance and, like, you know, risk of hurting the actual jumper. So I like this. I mean, it's kid mohair, merino wool and polyamide, like they all are. So I would probably skip on this one. I only buy that fabric if I absolutely love the piece. Like, this is the only piece that I've bought in the last year that is made of that blend, just because I couldn't resist it. And I have to say I really do love this, but for the most part I do skip over that fabric just because I find it a little bit uncomfortable. Moving down, we have some velvet. It looks like velvet. It's kind of hard to tell. Let me check. Yeah, so this is velvet, but it's made of polyester. So interestingly, the jacket that we saw was cotton velvet. This is polyester velvet. So a little bit disappointing to me. If they're going to make things in velvet and they're going to have a collection with lots of velvet pieces, at least make it all in cotton velvet, especially because these prices are similar to the jacket. I mean, the dress is £150, so similar pricing, but polyester. Personally, I would skip over that. The pattern is pretty though. I do like the pattern. I can't tell if oh, they're the Felix earrings. The blouse, I'm guessing, is also polyester velvet. Yeah, it is. It's recycled polyester, but even so, I would be looking for a cotton velvet. Moving down, we have some gorgeous, this is corduroy. It's difficult to tell from these pictures because they are so kind of, they're almost blurred. They've almost got this filter on them that makes them look a little bit blurry. But this, I believe, is corduroy. Let me see if this is cotton corduroy. Yes, it is. So this is the Chelsea jacket. This is obviously a piece that they do all the time in loads of different colours, variations, fabrics. A nice blazer. I can't remember if I've tried this or not, but I do like the green corduroy. I think that's quite cool. I like the way it's styled with the sheer tulle polka dot blouse and the with the little frills. Again, they've done that thing where that I suggested, layering that little frill wrist detail with the more structured blazer. I think that looks really cool. These shoes, they always come out with unusual shoes at winter time as well. Very impractical shoes. Beautiful like party shoes if you have occasions to wear them, but very like not very wearable in the grand scheme of things. These kind of fall into that. These are the high Ulay babies, £190. They've got these ribbons, which I'm always very reluctant to buy clothing or shoes that have ribbons used, because I find that they just don't hold out very well. If it's clothing, they tend to get ruined in the wash. If it's footwear, they're very easy to tread on and rip, or just get dirty and you can't really clean them easily. So I would probably avoid those as well. Back to that top that I really don't like, styled in a slightly different way. Then we have some less kind of festive pieces and more just classic winter items. I really like this Philly sweater as a sweater vest. This is cool. I love this, what is this pattern called? Is it Argyle? It's like similar to Argyle. I really love it. I just think it's like old-fashioned but cool. And I love actually the way they've styled it with the red trousers. I think that's really unusual and a little bit different. And I think it's quite inspiring styling. It's minimal, like it's just the vest and trousers, but it's very striking at the same time. We have some more red pieces, those same shoes coming in red. I still don't like them in the red, to be honest. The Harper dress in red looks gorgeous. I think that's a beautiful choice if you're looking for a dress that you can wear over the festive period. I really like the Harper. I've seen a lot of people, I think Helen from Daily Heaven, Helen really likes this dress and it looks amazing on her. I think it's one of those dresses that kind of suits everyone. And I don't mind the high neck on it because it is kind of balanced by the slit on the leg. So you're kind of balancing the amount of skin on show, and it's not a really high neck. Like that first top came up to the chin, whereas this just comes up sort of halfway through across the neck, so it's not too extreme. We have this dress, which I'm not a fan of. I feel like these kind of shapeless jumper dresses are nice in theory, but unless you have a model figure, they kind of just aren't very flattering. And not everything has to be flattering, but they just tend to fit. If you have a body type like mine, they just don't tend to fit very well because they don't hang from the body like they do on the model. They kind of cling to various different pieces, like your hips and things. So I tend to skip over those. I really like this blouse. This is the Jola blouse. Kind of reminds me of something you would see in a Doen holiday collection or a festive collection. It feels a little bit like that. I'll be interested to see what material it's made of. I hope it's silk, but it looks like to me, because it's £125, it looks like it might be polyester, which will be a shame. The Faria shirt, this is an iteration on something they've done a million times over. Honestly, I'm a little bit bored of seeing stuff like that from Sézane, but they do it well. The Tommy shirt, that's kind of a very Sézane piece as well, with a little bit of embroidery on the collar. Quite different to the rest of the collection. It feels very like, I don't know, folksy and a little bit more summery compared to all of these festive pieces. Moving down, we have the Aniline shirt with this almost, is this a grandad collar with this kind of half collar and the button? Interesting, could be quite a nice work piece. If you do work in an office and you want something that's a little bit different to a button-down shirt, but not too statement. I really love the Narcissa shirt, actually. I'd be interested to see if this is silk. I really hope it is. Oh, it's 65% viscose, 35% silk. They tried, didn't they? They really tried, but yeah, 65% viscose, that's disappointing. For £140 as well, that is very disappointing. I was really thinking that this would be 100% silk, so that's a shame, actually. I was really hoping, because I really love, I mean, the colour is so beautiful. This gold, like, rich jewel tone, which Sézane don't do many jewel tones. But when they do, they are beautiful. But why couldn't they just do this in silk? Yeah, a little bit disappointed in that one. Moving down, we have the Evie cardigan. The Evie cardigan is something I have tried. I've tried it in this colour, this cream ecru, and now they're bringing it out in this gorgeous, like, green, like a... oh, what's that shade of green called? What do they call it? Olive green. I guess it's olive green. It's a little bit different. It's more got like a yellow base to it. Really like it. I mean, the Evie is very pretty, I have to say. I think it's a beautiful cardigan. I will say when I tried it, it came up more sort of true to size compared to a lot of Sézane knitwear, which is a little bit oversized. For instance, this is a medium. If I was going to order the Evie, I would order a large. So I'd say if you're between sizes for the Evie, go for your bigger size, because it's definitely cropped and a little bit more tighter to the body. I love this this collection of colours, the black floral, the green, the ecru. That's very pretty to me. We've got another quite statement belt, not a statement as the previous one, but still quite chunky and gold in this kind of mottled gold variation. I think it's a brown suede. That's quite interesting. Their imagery is just so good. Like, whoever styles their shoots and their lookbooks, just hats off to them, because they make everything look so appealing. Although I did see a funny comment on Reddit the other day. They had these they have some of their jumpers styled as like they're wrapped around, a bit like this one. But like just balanced on the ground, and someone was saying it's giving kitchen roll, which I thought was really funny because it does look like a roll of kitchen roll, or paper towels I think you call it in America. Moving down, we have this interesting outfit, again a little bit reminiscent of the first outfit with the all black, but it's got this embroidered blouse, and then these trousers. I cannot tell what's going on in the middle. Is this just a ribbon that they've tied around the waist, or is it a belt? I don't think it's part of the blouse. I think the blouse is just, you know, plain at the bottom, although you can't actually tell because all of the pictures in the lookbook, as far as I'm aware, show it styled in this way, so I can't quite figure out what is going on with this. Is that a ribbon? Is that part of the blouse? Is it part of the trousers? Is it a belt? I'm lost. Let me know if you can understand, because very confusing, especially when you're trying to buy something and avoid returning something. It's nice to see what the bottom of it would actually look like. We've got more all black, beautiful silhouettes, like voluminous silhouettes, but again, ugh, it wouldn't look great on me, I have to say. I think this all voluminous look, again, if you're a model and you're tall, beautiful. If you're petite or you're curvy, not so much. Not that you can't wear it, you can wear anything you like, but just my own personal preference. Okay, moving down, we've got some more like Christmassy, like wintry feeling, ski feeling fabrics, or at least in this jumper. I love this robin sweater. I have to admit, I did order this one to try. I am a sucker for this kind of print. Is this, they're calling it a jacquard knitting. Is this a fair isle print, or is it similar to that kind of, it reminds me of skiing whenever I see it. And I love the black and white actually. It's a little bit more subtle than the colourful versions you often see. You often see this in like a green or a red or a white. I like the black and white. I think it's a little bit more toned down. This is 68% alpaca. So I just said I've only ordered this in the alpaca, but I have ordered this as well because I do love this one. We will see what it's like, but I just love that. I'm always a sucker for that Fair Isle pattern. I think it's so fun. It's like my version of a Christmas jumper. I don't own a Christmas, like a proper comical Christmas jumper, but this I can get on board with. Moving down, we have this waistcoat. This is the Ramsey top. This is pretty if you're looking for something, I mean, a little bit impractical. Are you going to wear something sleeveless and, you know, what's this called? Almost like bandeau. On its own in the winter with jeans, I don't know, but it does look nice. The short dress with the low back. Okay, the boots are interesting. I quite like those. Almost like a patent leather with lots of these buckles. I presume they have a zip on the other side to get into them. Otherwise that wouldn't be very practical, but I do like that subtle detail. I like elevated pieces like that. I feel like Sézane does them really well. Simple pieces that you can find anywhere, a black patent leather boot, but with interesting and unusual details. That's where they really excel. This is gorgeous, again, very editorial and chic. A little bit different to your typical feminine floral Sézane. It looks like these trousers are a personal piece, or maybe that's the ribbon they used earlier. I don't know, the styling is very difficult to understand, and a lot of the pieces seem to be personal pieces, which, you know, makes the imagery look beautiful, but actually is difficult to then understand what you can purchase and how you can style these things, because they, you know, the pieces they've styled them with aren't available. But anyway, we've got some white shirts. This is like a cropped, I've been seeing a lot of these actually recently, these cropped white shirts as an alternative, I guess, to your traditional button down, or is it button up? I don't know. That is like full length that you tuck in. Kind of a modern alternative to that, and I actually really like it. I like the little tortoiseshell button, although I wouldn't wear it buttons all the way up. It does look a little bit like a chef's uniform, doesn't it? Or a vicar's uniform. But yeah, to see the button, you have to do it up. Obviously, when it's unbuttoned, you can't see it, which is a shame. Another button down. I don't know, they're doing a lot of just white shirts. Not sure why. This one is, again, yeah, just like a tailored white shirt. Bit weird. And finally, we have these pieces in this gorgeous cobalt blue. This colour is one of my favourite colours, especially if you're cool toned, because sometimes when you're cool toned, I find that, I don't know, it's harder to find like, oh, maybe it's not true, but I don't know, I feel like I would rather be warm toned than cool toned if I could pick, but then I see a colour like this and I think, God, that's beautiful. And it's just gorgeous and striking and bold and beautiful. I love it. I love both the Emile cardigan in it and the Larry jumper, the sleeveless knit as well. I think they're really cool, and I think it looks great paired with the black. I think a lot of people say not to pair colour with black, and I tend to agree, but there's something about this colour that can hold its own against black, which maybe that's why I like it so much. That is it for the winter collection 2025, or at least the first drop. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if you've ordered anything so far. I will put on screen the items that I ordered yesterday. If you would like a try on review of these items once they arrive, let me know and I can do that for you. Thank you so much to Gingiberi again for sponsoring this video. Those will be linked down below, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!